Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary. My name is Becky, my email address is here, it's becky@tradictive.com. There it is, and there's also support@tradictive.com, so by all means email us if you have any questions. Now let me just put the disclaimers up on the top left hand corner, so there they are, top left hand corner. Please read them, not just for legal reasons but also to understand what these kind of videos are and what you can expect from them. Now, I'm just checking chat boxes and stuff, seeing if anybody's there to say hello to. I know sometimes I miss that. I don't check it. People say hello and I ignore them, so sorry. These videos are quicker ones, so I don't tend to check the chat boxes as much. But hello to everybody watching now, and of course everybody watching the recording. Now, these 3D market commentaries are videos that we do every day, Monday to Friday, to expand on an email that we send out. We send an email out every day, again Monday to Friday, to our free members that has information on 5 major markets in the world, but we look at 3 separate elements, hence the 3D market commentary. So if you want to sign up for that, then if you go to tradewithufos.com/Becky, that's the link up there, you can get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership at the top, and then you'll get that email every day. And again, we do these videos for 15-20 minutes to expand on them every day to give you more context. From this link, you can also book one-on-one coaching if you'd like, and you can also ask questions here in this public setting, which is great. And I'd actually prefer that you post questions here because it means other people can see the questions and other people can see the answers. So it's really helpful for everybody to be able to access this space and learn from each other. Okay, so let's pull up our email that we send out every day. That's what it looks like, and it is relevant, of course, to market data, market information. So let's have a look at what's going on. We have our 3D approach looking at 3 separate elements, and the first thing that we want to look at is upcoming market direction, meaning is the market going up, is the market going down, or maybe the market's not going anywhere, and therefore do we buy, do we sell, or do we do nothing? So do we go long or short, or do nothing, basically. We use an app to help us. That's this app here, the Auto Climate app. It's a free app on most platforms you can get it on. And what it does is it shows us where probabilities are based on the dots. So if we have a thick red dot, that tells us probability is down. We should probably sell. If we have a thick blue dot, that tells us probability is up. We should probably buy. If we have a thin dot of either colour, that tells us not enough probabilities either way, do nothing. So our action is determined by our auto climate. It gives us an idea of what we should be doing, buying, selling, or doing nothing. Then we want to know, where do we have buyers and where do we have sellers? And therefore, what should we be doing? Where should we buy and where should we sell? We use our buy and sell UFOs for this. We call them UFOs because it stands for unfilled orders. And essentially it's showing us where the buyers are, that's the green ones, and it shows us their prices. And the sellers, and again shows us the prices, those are the red ones. So why is this helpful? Because if you have more buyers than sellers, price goes up. If you have more sellers than buyers, price goes down. And so to know where there's lots of buyers or lots of sellers helps us to be buying and selling in areas that have more probability of going in that direction. So we want to know where these are so that we can buy when they buy and sell when they sell. We then want to look at market volatility. How quickly are these markets moving? So we'll look at each of these elements per market. Now we're looking at daily charts. Different things happen on different time frames, but we're looking at daily charts here. And we are starting with the S&P 500, which is the top 500 US stocks. Now, with the top 500 US stocks, with the S&P, we have an unconfirmed climate, a thin dot. Doesn't matter about the colour. That tells us we don't have enough probability either way. And therefore, we do nothing. We don't buy, we don't sell, we do nothing. We move to a different time frame or we move to a different market. Now, we have buy orders underneath us here at 43.95.75 to 42.93.75. We also have sell orders up here at 45.49.5 to 44.85.5. And we're kind of in the middle. So not close enough really to either stack of orders to really push it in either direction today, unlikely anyway, and we don't have anything with the climate. So kind of undecided here with the S&P 500, with the US stock market on a daily chart, undecided. Now in terms of volatility, we would expect that the S&P 500 would move up or down in 1 year of 18.96%. So that means in one day, up or down of 51.16 points. In a week would be 112.62 points. And in a month, 234.44 points. So that gives us an idea of how quickly we'd expect those markets to move in those given periods of time. Okay, so next market is crude oil. By the way, excuse my coldy voice and the occasional sniffle. I'm trying to not let that come out, but it's hard to do. So with crude oil, we have a confirmed upwards climate. Thick blue dot there telling us probability is upwards. Now usually crude oil would go up for 7 candles, I'm just rounding that up. We're on candle number 3. So probability that it continues up based on what usually happens. Also, not that this is perhaps relevant to a global situation, we have petrol shortages or gas shortages in the UK at the moment, which is creating a demand for oil, creating a demand for gas. So again, those kind of things perhaps help, but overall, statistically speaking, we have probability upwards anyway based on the climate. We have probability that it continues based on what usually happens. We have buy orders beneath us at 71.48 to 69.39. Overall, everything's pointing to the upside really for oil. Now, it's probable that oil moves up, but not definite. Okay, we're never 100% sure what's going to happen in the markets ever. We just go by what is most likely to happen, which is why we use technology to help us figure that out. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in the year of 34.01%, which means in a day, up or down of 1.61 points, in a week, 3.35 points, and in a month, 7.36 points. Now, by the way, if you're looking to educate yourself, we do a whole bunch of courses that you can take online. Futures, stocks, forex, backtesting, trading plans and psychology. Most of them come with a 3-month complimentary access to the apps. AutoClimate is a free app on most platforms, you can get it on anyway. AutoUFOs is a paid for subscription type model. You can subscribe directly to the apps. You don't have to do a course, of course, in order to do it. You can just subscribe directly for the UFOs, no problem. Most of the time, though, it is actually cheaper to get a course and get 3 months free access than it would be to just pay for the UFOs and not do the course. So check that out. Okay, next market is gold. So excuse me, when I cough, I'm trying not to. Is gold. Next market is gold. It says here, by the way, in terms of need coaching and support, we do offer a bunch of free coaching and support online that you can join us in many platforms. You can also email us and ask questions, whoever you are. We also have our closed coaching community, which is a small monthly fee in order to have access to more of our time in a closed environment. Okay, so gold. Confirmed downwards climate, probability downwards, thick red dot there, probability to the downside. Now, gold would usually go down for 7 candles, I'm rounding that up, and we're on candle number 8. So we've gone just past what's usual in terms of a move to the downside. We've also, and this is something that's more likely to change the situation, we've got buy orders just beneath us, 1739.4 to 1718.5. Already worked, price came in and they've been pushed up since then. So we've come to the end of what would be a usual move to the downside, and we've got buy orders that have just pushed price up. But we do still have pressure to the downside with the climate. So we've kind of got a fight going on at the moment. I personally would keep out of this, see who wins, and then rejoin that. Otherwise, it's more of a gamble because you've got buyers and sellers competing, and whoever's got more are going to win. If there's more buyers, they're going to beat the sellers. If there's more sellers, they're going to beat the buyers. So bear that in mind. Overall, undecided, I'd say, here with gold, based on the fact that we have competing statistics, competing probabilities. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect in 1 year movement up or down of 16.44%, which is up or down in a day of 18.1 points, in a week 39.85 points, and in a month 82.95 points. So that's gold. Next market is the US dollar. There we go. Now, the US dollar is responsible for about 80% of transactions worldwide daily, so be aware of them, or be aware of it, whether you trade it or not. Now, we have, let me just squidge this right down so we can see our sellers as well. There we go. We have a thick blue dot, probability to the upside. We have, normally, this market would go up for 5 candles, and we're on candle number 7. So we have gone past what's usual, but we don't have sellers for a little while here. The sellers are up here at 95.375 to 94.775. We have buy orders closer, which are 92.88 to 92.31. So overall, probability upwards. Yes, we've gone slightly past what's usual, but we've got some room to go before we hit sellers, and we've got buyers behind us pushing us upwards. So overall, probability up here with the US dollar. Now, in terms of volatility, it's the least volatile of our markets. In 1 year, we would expect movement up or down of 4.82%. In a day, that's 0.28 points. In a week, that's 0.62 points. And in 1 month, that's 1.3 points up or down. Okay, last but not least, let's have a look at Bitcoin. This is the last market. Now, it says here, interested but have questions. You can, of course, schedule a clarification call with one of our experts. Speak to us about the different apps and courses and things like that. What's going to work best for you, if anything. So by all means, schedule a clarification call and chat with us if you need to. So with Bitcoin, we have a confirmed downwards climate, a thick red dot. Now, we don't know what usually happens with Bitcoin because it's not old enough yet. We don't have the data to say that this usually happens or this usually happens. It's not been around long enough to have the data. So kind of in the dark there. But what we do know is that we have probability down still. Now, we have sellers up here at 57,975 to 54,500. Buy orders all the way down here at 32,820 to 31,615. And we're kind of in the middle here at what would we be at? 43,510. So we're kind of almost exactly in between these stacks of buy and sell orders. So not close enough to either one of them to push price by quite a way. And we've got a confirmed downwards climate. So overall, probability slightly to the downside here with backed Bitcoin. In terms of volatility, it's the most volatile that we look at. In a year, we've got 86.9% movement expected up or down. So in a day, that's 2,392.08. In a week, it would be 5,265.93. And in a month, 10,961.9. So that tells us what we can expect in terms of movement up or down in those given periods of time. So for each of these markets, we've looked at the climate, where we have probability up or down. We've used the Auto Climate app to help us with that, to figure out the colour and the thickness of the dot and what is usual to happen, so giving us an idea of what's going on in terms of the pressure up or down. We've then looked at buy and sell UFOs, where we have sellers and where we have buyers that could push price down or up respectively. And we've looked at volatility, how quickly we expect these markets to move. So if you have any questions on that, by all means email us or post it in tradewithufos.com/Becky. One more thing to round off before we finish is our weekly economic calendar. It's a big one this week. Come down to here just to show you. It's from fxstreet.com. That's where we get this from. And what we do is we filter by high impact news on most major world markets, so that we can figure out not necessarily what's going to happen, but are we likely to see volatility on those days. So for example, today being Monday, we've already had some news on the euro and US dollar that's come out, but we've got some news later coming from on the pound in the Czech Republic by the looks of it, in Japan and in Australia. So if you trade in those markets, trade stocks in those markets, trade currencies related to those markets, then of course be aware of those things. You may see volatility. Okay, so just to remind you again, to get this email, all you need is a free membership. So go to tradewithufos.com/Becky, get your free membership at the top and follow through the steps. And then you can get this email, which will show you every day where the statistics lie in these 5 major world markets. From this link, again, tradewithufos.com/Becky, you can also book one-on-one coaching or ask a question here in public so that I can answer it in public and everybody can learn from this area. Any questions, let us know. Otherwise, have a great trading day. Have a great trading week. Hope you had a great weekend. And I will see you in the week coming up.